Welcome to the Ultimate Insurance Agency Podcast, Planet of the Agents. Planet of the Agents. Where we give you the...
Who's excited to talk about contractors insurance today? That's the topic we're going to discuss today on Planet of the Agents, which is the Ultimate Insurance Agency podcast for commercial insurance agents, personal lines insurance agents, with an overall focus on, of course, P&C insurance. As always, you can reach out to me on planetoftheagents.com. And now the resources section has been moved, so you may want to check out theagentspot.com, which is where you can now find many of the resources, the templates, the scripts, the marketing strategies, the ideas, some of the things we discuss here, and a lot more information, which is focused on helping you grow your business, retain business, and gives you, templates and scripts that you can actually just copy and email. Obviously, you should read them to make sure they're appropriate for what you're sending, but there's educational material, there's cross-selling ideas, cross-selling emails for your current database that you have. And don't forget, those customers you have are opportunity. Many people actually need many more types of insurance than you've been offering them. Before I jump in, make sure, of course, to click that little like button or heart or thumbs up or whatever it takes for you to love this episode, and more importantly, for you to subscribe. Okay, let's talk about today's episode. What I want to discuss today is the types of insurance that are available to contractors. Now, why do I bring up contractors specifically? It's because that seems to be one of the most common quote requests that I receive. And what I'm talking about here is the fact that so many insurance agents request quotes for general liability insurance for contractors, but there is so much more opportunity available. And I am a little bit shocked about how much opportunity people are missing when it comes to getting quotes for contractors. So yes, I think we all know that general liability for contractors exists. We got it. Okay, there it is. It's out there. But what else is available to contractors? Let's go through a list of some cross-selling opportunities that you might have, which will hopefully help you, because if you're already quoting their general liability, why not quote some of these other key coverages? I'm just going to rattle through a few of them, some of which I think you might not need any explanation as to why you need them, but we can maybe talk about it. All right. Number one, of course, was general liability insurance for contractors. Let's go to number two, workers' comp insurance for contractors. Now, in many cases, I find that people are often struggling, depending on your location, to get workers' comp insurance for contractors for several reasons. One is they might, how shall we say, not have the best records available, meaning they don't have a very smooth system for tracking their payroll. There's a key item, though, that I want you to remember when talking to contractors. You need to know, of course, their W-2 payroll, right? Their payroll for their employees. But what about the payroll for the subcontractors? And here's another question. Should we be using the word payroll, or should we really be using the word subcontracting costs? One issue that comes up with contractors, of course, is the fact that they use subcontractors. That particularly makes sense when you are a general contractor. So you'll need to confirm a few different things with them, of course, such as, are the people that you've listed here, or the numbers that you've listed, are they for W-2 payroll, or are they for subcontractors? And if they're for subcontractors, do the subcontractors have their own insurance, and are they providing you with proof of insurance? That's something to strongly consider. That's something that you shouldn't just consider. Let me rephrase that. That's something that you need to bring up when you are getting quotes for workers' comp, when you're talking to your contractors. So another major issue I hear is the question of the ghost policy. What if it's an owner-only business, but perhaps the state or one of their clients requires workers' comp? Those are available. In fact, there are actually benefits. You'll have to review each policy, standard disclaimer. You need to review every policy form, exclusion, etc. Make sure you understand things. But generally speaking, there are benefits that can be available, meaning there are coverages that can be available for an owner-only business. So remember that. Next, of course, is commercial auto. That seems like the logical cross-sell to me. Cross-selling commercial auto insurance to a contractor seems quite logical, especially since so many of them might be using their personal auto, but maybe they have a label on the side of their vehicle. Maybe they put a magnet on it. Maybe they put their company name on it. make sure that the contractor understands that business usage on a personal auto policy might not be appropriate depending on their situation. Also, of course, if they have company vehicles, that's a totally different situation. Next, you have inland marine coverage. Look, there is a lot to inland marine insurance. It's not just builder's risk. There are tools and equipment coverage. I'll see contractors that have business personal property on their quote, meaning their coverage is limited to their location, but they work out of their house. They're taking their tools, they're taking their equipment, they're taking their pressure washers or whatever they have to different locations. I've seen people have business personal property thinking it covers a backhoe or a tractor off location, meaning, it's 20 miles from wherever they garage it. They may not have the appropriate coverage. So a good question to ask is about tools, equipment, heavy equipment, various types of contractors' equipment. And of course, we can really dive deeper into builder's risk and other types of inland marine coverage, like installation floaters. What if they have things that are intended to be installed at a location that are sitting on the location or job site while they are not being installed? What about that? How is that covered? Is it covered at all? These are questions you want to go through. You could ask the contractor for more details of what types of equipment or things are used in their business. Seems pretty logical, but they might not know about it. So why not let them know about it? Next, of course, I do want to touch on umbrellas and excess coverage. You have a lot of layers there that might need extra coverage. Think about this. For a very competitive premium, in many cases, depending on the type of contractor, though, you could get them an umbrella quote adding an extra $1 to $5 million, or potentially more, depending on what they need, but at least $1 million, because that's generally what I see as the lowest limit, to go over their general liability, their workers' comp, their commercial auto. You can put that on top of it and giving them a nice extra layer of coverage for a fairly low premium overall. I think umbrellas are quite competitive. One thing I do notice in umbrellas is that some carriers frown upon residential contractors. Some have rules regarding apartments. Obviously, you've always got to watch out for the question of tract homes. That's a key question you want to ask your contractor. Next, let's deviate from insurance for a second, talk about bonds. Bonds for contractors are more than just a license and permit bond. I know in some states, some of you have contractors that are required to purchase a contractor's bond, like a general contractor's bond, pool contractor, electrical or artisan contractors. All need different limits of bonds. In the western states, I see it a lot, Arizona, California, etc. I see it in some states where you'll actually have to print and mail the bond. Some states have electronic filings. But that's not the type of bond I want to talk about. I want to talk about contract bonds, bid bonds, performance bonds. Those types of contract bonds, the bid bond, the performance bond, to complete a project, to do certain things per the terms of a contract. That is a massive opportunity that so many people are missing. The thing I love about these bonds for the contractors is that, let's say you get someone approved for a small job, say $50,000 to pour concrete into a parking lot. Sure, that's a relatively small job for certain contractors. Now, when they come back to you and they say, hey, my agent friend, thanks for helping me with that bond. Now I want to bid on a job that's $400,000. Now I want to bid on a job that's $750,000. They can build up that reputation, that history of completing work without claims with the surety company that you place them with. And then they will keep coming back to you over and over. So it's not just one bond. The bigger the contractor gets, the bigger the opportunity is for them, the bigger the opportunity is for you. They're establishing a sort of credit or a sort of approval with the surety bond companies. And this is a huge opportunity. I actually attend certain surety bond association events, which I really like. The people are very friendly, but that's not the point of the conversation here. There are some clearly successful producers in there doing great work with bonds. And the opportunity, to me, feels less competitive. And that is something I like, because I constantly hear agents say that they're in a situation where they're just competing for something and someone's going online shopping something repeatedly. Fortunately, right now, there's not that much competition. Now, if you're stuck on the surety bond thing, you are definitely welcome to reach out to me. You can contact us for help with surety bonds, and you can do that at yesbaker.com. That's YESBAKER.com, yesbaker.com. So, as I've mentioned before, I do work on the wholesale side quite a bit, and I love to help agents find markets for their business. So you're definitely welcome to contact me for your surety bond needs and contract bonds, and even your little license bonds and permit bonds. Sure, that's fine. Why not help the customer so long as it's not impeding your other business, even for a small bond? So there are other types of coverage available to contractors. You have things like cyber liability, of course, EPLI, and contractor's professional liability. Now, don't confuse a small add-on for a very small premium where you add a contractor's errors and omissions or a small form of contractor's professional liability to a general liability policy. There are fuller, more comprehensive, and very different contractors' professional liability policies that are available for project managers, construction managers, and contractors. I'm considering doing an episode on that specific topic to explain it, because those policies can do much more. They can be for architects and engineers as well. For the contractors who do a design build aspect is actually what I'm trying to say here. For the contractors who do design and build, you have so many other things that are available. One of the very last ones that I think of right now, which comes to mind, is going to be pollution liability. I want to touch on that real quick because pollution liability, environmental risks are something that people tend to buy under a contract need. But so what? Even if they don't want to buy it, but they are forced to with a contract, that might be an opportunity for you to both explain the value of it and to help them get the contract. Pollution liability is also sometimes referred to as environmental liability. There are different names for it depending on the carrier. So those are the key things I wanted to talk to you about in this episode. Thank you for joining me here on Planet of the Agents. You can always reach out to me on planetoftheagents.com, but I also want you to go check out theagentspot.com. And if you go down in the description of this episode, you will see that there is a discount code available for you. So feel free to send me a message. I love getting your messages. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Another episode will be coming out soon. Make sure you are subscribed. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Planet of the Agents. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And head over to our website at planetoftheagents.com to sign up for our newsletter and get even more information on how to grow your insurance agency.